Hello Year 12, welcome back to MM6 Spherical Geometry. This is our last video for this topic. Yes, so far we've learned about latitude and longitude, great. We have learned about great circle distances, yes. We have learned about local time, right? Local time differences. Now when we looked at local time, we might recall that every place with the same longitude has the same local time. Same longitude, same local time. Different longitude, different local time. Okay, that's pretty handy if you are navigating in the open ocean with a compass and sextant, something like that. But in practice, that's not very convenient. So what we do instead is we group a whole lot of localities together with similar longitudes, similar but not exactly the same, similar longitude, and we lump all of those together into the same time zone. We tend to split these up into 1 hour blocks, which would give us 24 different time zones, although there are some exceptions like South Australia that is half an hour behind us. So, time zones. You will generally, when answering these questions, a bit like we did back in example, I think it was example 8, right, be given. Was it example 8? No, not example 8. I'm sure we had here one. No. Back somewhere in these notes, we were given some time zones where we had, here we go, example 6, GMT plus 10, GMT minus 5. They're examples of international time zones. So you'll be given these, and they're usually nice round numbers. So on this map here, it says to indicate these things here. So noon, Monday, 1st of June at Greenwich. This is our prime meridian here. This is our prime meridian. Right. There's London there somewhere, and the Royal Observatory at, that's funny sound, at Greenwich. Okay, and that means stop that. No, don't install now. So this is telling us that there on the prime meridian, it is going to be, I'm going to call it 1200 hours. That's a good way for describing noon. 1200 hours on the 1st of the 6th, 1st of June. 1200 hours there on the prime meridian. That means everywhere along that line, and in fact, I guess we probably have a little bit either side of that. We're going to say that's noon. Yep, that's midday there for all of those places. The international date line. Well, the international date line is, well, actually, if we go all the way over here, this is going to be a whole 12 hours in front. So this is going to be 2400 hours. And in fact, it's going to have moved on from Monday. Here it will now be very early Tuesday morning on the 2nd of the 6th, right? Because it's 12 hours after noon is midnight, I guess the following day, right at that point there. But if I go the other direction here, this is 12 hours behind. So this is going to be, it's going to be a mess is what it is. 2400 hours on the 1st. So it's Monday. It's very early Monday morning here. It's very early Tuesday morning here. These two places are 24 hours apart. So on one side of that line, it's Monday, and the other side of the line, it's Tuesday. Right? You think it's confusing going from Tweed Heads to Coolangatta, and there's a 1 hour time difference? Well, from one side of this line to the other is a whole day's difference. Okay, we call this the international date line. International date line. Now, the time along that, well, it sort of depends which side of the line you're on, but we've indicated it well enough there. It doesn't form a perfectly straight line. It has some little squiggles in it to avoid splitting different countries, to avoid splitting countries into different dates, right? Different time zones is one thing. Different dates is a real nuisance. So Kiribati has a huge big bend in that line to account for that, and there's a few other little squiggles around there as well. So it's not a straight line. Anyway, that's done. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 150 degrees east. Okay, so here we are. Now this gives us a band. Now it's sort of, what is it, Betty? It would be a band about this wide. Right, it's something like that. This strip here doesn't include Japan, I don't think. What have I done there? No, it should. Oh, I don't know. Well, anyway, 150 degrees east, that's us here, AEST, and my time there is going to be, right, remember we can split this up, 15 degrees for every hour, so it's 10 hours in front of noon. It is it's either 2200 hours on Monday, the 1st of the 6th, or you could say that's 10 p.m. Yep. And the time for Canada Atlantic time, 60 degrees west. Okay, so this is going to be over here somewhere. It's going to be Canada Atlantic time. 60 degrees west, well, that's 4 hours. Divide that by 15, I get 4 hours. Behind that is going to be 8 a.m., 0800 hours, Monday, the 1st of the 6th.
Daddy, that's where it's got.
Okay, radio. Well, that's international time zones. That is the end of the notes. That's the end of our topic. Okay, we'll have a look at some interesting examples. There was one other thing I briefly mentioned, so we'll look at in class. We'll make sure we do all those things. Check those things out, have a look at the exercises, and come to class with some questions for me. Okay, see you then.